Hello, everybody. I am the Dungeon Guru, and we are playing Kingdom Death Monster. Thank you so much for joining me, and in this episode, we will be performing the settlement phase immediately following our first prologue fight with the Crimson Croc. So, let's jump in. The first thing that we have to do is so we have beat the Crimson Croc, and we will come here, consult our our settlement sheet, and we can see that the first thing we need to do is the first Crimson Day, which I've already pulled out and set here. So we'll flip it over, and we can see that the survivors trust their kill, putting their backs to the bloodbath. They set off, grimly dragging the squelching hulk into the darkness. Drawn by a soft glow, they approach a distant form, and as always, on a deep instinctual level, they know this place is safe, and they make it their home. We're going to roll a d10 to determine our starting population. I sure hope it's 7+. And it is. Wow, we've done great. So we're going to have 10 unnamed survivors. All of our returning survivors, which there are 3 because we did unfortunately lose Lucy? Yeah. And we're going to archive the starting cloths and gain the bloody cloths. So that's cool. We'll get rid of these, and let's just retrieve the bloody cloth. And I'll need 1. I'll need 2, and I'll need 3. There we are. And let's put, okay, that's fine. Put 1 there. Oh, and I need a 4th even. Actually, I don't, because, interesting. No, I do. I do need a 4th. Yeah, 1 more bloody cloth, and that is here. Okay. And this comes here. And you can go back in the box. This box, even. One of the boxes. I don't care which box. And I do want to look at this. So it is just one armor to the waist still. And when we depart, we gain 1 insanity. And you can use this as armor for any hit location. Huh. Oh, it's not technically on the waist. Oh, wonderful. Well, that's quite good. I can get down with that. And it gives departing insanity. This is wonderful. Okay. Yep, and you never use this again. So I guess we'll just archive it. That's fine. Okay, now we have a couple settlement story events to do here. So we need to do Dreamless Respite, First Meal, and Extinguished Guidepost. And each one of these are essentially going to be assembling kind of the core campaign and some like aspect of a pillar that we've incorporated into this campaign. Since we're using all of the available pillars, these are kind of their activation methods. If you for some reason weren't, say, using scouts, then you would nix that guy, and that's all detailed in the rules. But for now, we will do the Dreamless Respite. So we nominate a survivor to gesture over the Roar of Snores. I guess we can read Roar of Snores. The survivors approach a mass of dreaming bodies held aloft by a motionless giant. The snoring forms a dense roar that drowns out all other sound. The nominated survivor's voice is swallowed by the din. The settlement gains the dreamless language innovation, but they find it ineffective for communicating around the sphere of snorers. They learn to communicate without sound, and the settlement gains the silent dialect innovation, and the nominated survivor gains +2 understanding. Okay, I probably should have selected the survivor first, but it's not really a big deal, I don't think. I'll choose one of these survivors. I'm just going to reset these injuries real quick. Let's do Alistair. Plus 2 understanding, and we gain the dreamless language. So we gain this, and we additionally gain the silent dialect. These are 2 innovations. So where are we going to put our innovations this time? I don't know if I'm actually going to use the automation. So maybe we'll just kind of like start assembling some things down here. Okay, so let's just take a look at these. So we now have +1 survival limit. That means our survival limit is now up to 2, first of all. That's wonderful. And we gain encourage, just like all the other times we gain encourage. And this element develops a silent form of communication to cope with the ever-present din of snoring dreamers. All survivors gain the fist bump action, which once per round, if standing, spend 1 survival to gesture to a non-blind survivor. They stand if knocked down. Okay, so it's basically, it's a route around death. Death can't be encouraged, but in this case, you can be encouraged, but you can't be blind. So, yeah. That's cool. Very thematic. Alrighty. Back over here. Search, place them in play, record this on your ARK settlement record sheet. I do need to do that. Thank you for the reminder. Let's turn the page and oops. So what do we have? Silent dialect and dreamless language, right? Yep. Okay. All survivors agree they must hunt to live. Add the prologue monster, the Crimson Crocodile, to your quarry list. All right, so the quarry list is perhaps the next page. Perhaps it's the previous page. Indeed, here it is. Okay. You know what? It feels like things are a little. I've had to let's see if that improves the fidelity a little bit here. It looks a little blurry. I have taken to needing to, let's see, yeah. The performance has been a little choppy. Oh, yep, that's not gonna work. I used to run this at Ultra, no issues at all, but I can't even, unfortunately, I can't even launch it right now. At Ultra, I have to turn it down to like high just to log in, which is a little annoying. I hope that they resolve that soon. Okay, so now we're going to build the innovation deck. The innovation deck represents the potential cultural and technological growth of your settlement. It will grow throughout the campaign as you gain new innovation cards. Find 6 innovation cards with language consequences listed under their title. So it's Ammonia, Drums, Hovel, Inner Lantern, Paint, and Symposium. So Ammonia, Drums, and I'm shift clicking on these to keep my context. Inner Lantern, this is the easiest way I found to do it. Paint, and Symposium. Shuffle these cards to form my innovation deck and place it face down in the designated space on the settlement board. Okay, so there is a settlement board which I need to recover, apparently. Settlement. Oh, no, okay. Yeah, this is the settlement board. I never used that, to be honest. Or I used to use it, actually, when when the automation worked, but I don't think I'm going to use it this time. So we'll just put our settlement deck there. And that is sufficient. There's another board that I'll need to get in a minute, but that's okay. That's for future guru. Okay, the innovation deck is persistent. Make sure to preserve the unique combinations of cards in your deck between play sessions, of course. And the settlement gathers around the giant guardian. Exhausted, the nominated survivor nestles in the overflowing robes of the encumbered creature. It remains still, enthusiastically motioning for others to join. The survivors name their settlement's guardian the Dream Keeper. Search the settlement locations for the Keeper of Dreams and place it face up in the play area. Keeper of Dreams. Okay. And I think I'll put this over here. Bring that up so we can look at it. Pretty cool art. The Dreamkeeper is the source of all innovations and further locations the settlement will develop. Huddled in the Dreamkeeper's robes, the sudden horror of existence is replaced by a spreading sense of calm. Under the droning thrum of snores and sighs, they drift off into dreamless sleep. Remove any disorders. Nice. The nominated survivor gains the grounded ability. At any time, you may set your insanity to 0, 1, or 2. Okay. So I think that was Ezra here. Or Alistair, rather. Grounded. Set. Insanity to 0, 1, 2. And what is that? It was like once per showdown? Once per lantern year. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. We've done it. Okay. Now we move on to the next one, which is first meal. So we'll go to contents. We'll go to first meal. That looks pretty yummy. Kind of. I don't know if I would actually want to eat any of this food, but it looks like they're having a good time, so that's good. Okay, first meal. Nominate a survivor to raise a drink. How about we nominate a new survivor? And I need... Okay, so we have 13 survivors. And I'm going to do survivor number... Okay. Let's see. How am I going to do this? Did I spell it right? Survivor. Yeah, okay, there we go. Well, spell it right. That'd be helpful. Okay. For now, we're going to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I just have 13. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is a chance that we are going to get names. And so I don't want to name them all right now. Oh no. And there we go. Okay. Technically these are Alistair. Oh boy, there's a lot of tabs there. Zachary and not Lucy, but Ezra. Okay. That is sufficient. And let's just do, there's gonna be a lot of bookkeeping here, so buckle up, all right? I'm gonna try and do it as quickly as I can, but there's just a lot. Okay, so let's do this. That'll give me 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I need one more, and then these will be male. Then I'll have 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's as good as you're gonna get. 13. 1 death. I do need to. We'll need to do that at some point. Can't forget about that. Okay, so we are going to use survivor number 4 for this. And if something happens and we think of a name that we think is fitting to whatever they've done, then that's great. Then we'll use that name. So the settlement gathers for their first meal. The nominated survivor raises their hand to mark the settlement's unity with a sanguine sip. Communal consumption benefits the ARC survivors' collective cognition. Build the collective cognition rewards deck, ordering the numbered cards with the lowest value on top. If duplicate numbers appear, use only one of each value. Include only CC monster reward cards for monsters in your campaign. The collective cognition flourishes based on the variety and challenge of defeated monsters. When a monster is defeated, update the settlement victory section on the sheet. The survivors digest their feast, gain 1 CC, record this on the ARC settlement record sheet. Collective cognition imparts its first reward, gain CC reward card with a 1 on the back, and the nominated survivor begins a discourse. Okay. That was a lot. So this survivor was the first to raise a drink, so we're going to call them Lush, right? Isn't a Lush is a name for like a person who likes wine, right? They drink a lot of wine. If that's wrong, you can hee hee and haha in the comments and let me know. Okay. And we do gain 1, so I need to go to the next page. In fact, I hate how that comes up. Really don't like that. Really don't like that. And we are going to mark that, and that's going to additionally give us the facets of power, which we'll probably get to in just a moment. So now we're going to undergo some discourse. The survivors examine the facets of their existence through many lenses. The spirited debate erupts in the settlement as the survivors compare their viewpoints. How wonderful. Build the philosophy deck. Take 2 random tier 1 philosophy cards and the core philosophy card, Dreamism, and set it aside the starting philosophy card, Survivalism. Okay. So let's do all this. Dreamism. This should be... Okay, let's actually just look in here. Philosophies. I think they're right here. Okay, yeah, so... Are these marked as... Okay, so Dreamism, Survivalism. Let's grab these 2. And then 2 random tier 1. So if I flip this... Yeah, so not those. Those are special. So this one, this one, this one. This one. These are tier 1s, and you can see that these are tier 1s because they have a 1. Okay, and now we have a single stack, so we're going to flip it, shuffle it again for good measure, and then we're going to take 2, and we're going to put them there, and then we're going to shuffle that, then we're going to take this, and we're going to put it there, and we're going to take this, and we're going to put it there. Okay. Okay. Yep, so this is the philosophy deck. Okay, we're going to put these here, I suppose. And And there's a board that these go on. I'm quite sure. So, but I don't know where it is. So it looks like it could be right here. Is this what I think it is? Nope, this is the encounter board, I think. Okay, let's put that back. What do we have here? Encounter board, cognition control panel. I think this is what I'm looking for. Yep, okay. It's called the cognition control panel, clearly. Who wouldn't know that? Okay, that goes there. Collective cognition. Is this going to be the full deck? It is. Wonderful. Okay. That goes there. That goes there. And now we need to assemble our knowledges. Now, full disclosure, Guru made a couple mistakes last time. That's going to be a common thing. But this game's, there's a lot. So, it's fine. It's all just about having fun. So these should have leveled up immediately. So I've gone through and I've grabbed the next level of each one. So this is Despair 2, and now no longer would Ezra have Despair 1. They would have Despair 2. Bing! But they don't have this anymore. That goes away. Okay, so now this is going to come down there, and it's just going to go there, and that's fine. But now they have this. Okay, if nightmares are real, then are you living a nightmare? That is a good question. And when you depart, you gain +1 insanity. And whenever you suffer a brain trauma, you gain 1. So that's the level up there. Fear is equally going to come down here and instead be replaced by this. Okay, so this is kind of like the max level. Full art. Clearly, it's good. So when a monster targets you, you may spend 1 survival to suffer the flee brain trauma. Limit 1 per showdown. This doesn't seem as useful, but it's done. So there is that, and we can actually get rid of this by clicking these away. You can right click those away if you don't like them because they annoy you like they do me. And we didn't do this one, and this person died. But so these are going to come here, and this one's going to come here, and this one are going to come here. Because now essentially we have 2 knowledges that have leveled up, and so if we consult the book, it says the survivors share frantic reenactments of their tactics, build the starting knowledge deck with Darkness 1, Despair 1, Fear 1, and Hunger 1. But if any of these advance to a higher level during the prologue showdown, which they did, and then whenever you advance to a higher level, you do it immediately. Replace that card with the higher level achieved. So that's what we just did. And then shuffle these cards and place the knowledge deck and play. Okay. So this is now our starting knowledge deck. Shuffle, shuffle. Okay, that's weird. It doesn't make the noise. Okay, interesting. I might have to bug report that. Okay, now these cards are just going to go over here. Okay. So now the knowledge deck is assembled. And now we have to move to ponder the darkness. With the sudden acceleration of culture, the nominated survivor sees the path unfolding before them. Surviving the darkness is paramount. They gain hunt experience equal to their first milestone, 2 hunt experience, and adopt a philosophy. I didn't even know they were going to gain 2 hunt experience. That's great, because we picked somebody who doesn't already have 1. Maximum efficiency. When ARC survivors reach their first hunt experience milestone, 2, they adopt a philosophy by drawing the top card from the philosophy deck. The nominated survivor adopts survivalism. So they always adopt survivalism this time. So survivalism. So we're going to grab the survivalism book. And we're going to craft Lush here. I'm pretty sure, like, it's totally somebody who likes wine, right? Lush, I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna feel really silly because I'm really kind of like I'm doubling down on this thought. Okay. Open the Survivalism Philosophy book and follow the directions on the starting page. Boop. Oh, I wanted to pick it up. Okay. I'll just move in. Right. This philosophy book describes one perspective survivors might adopt to make sense of their world. When a survivor adopts a philosophy, gain the tenet knowledge and the neurosis of this philosophy. Okay, so create the rank plus milestones by bolding the corresponding Hunt XP boxes on their ARC survival record sheet and advance to the first rank of the philosophy. Okay, that was a lot. So let's just come over here to Lush, and we'll put this probably like right here, and we're going to click in, and we're going to see that this is where you will rank up this philosophy. Okay, so you need to put these little like heavy shaded guys into your actual hunt experience. So this one's on the 4th, so we're going to put it there. And then there's 2 and a 1, so we're going to put it there. And then there's 2 and a 1, and we're going to put it there. And then there should be 5 blanks in between our retired. So that's the first thing we have to do. Survivalism. Okay, I can fill that in. That's super handy automation here. And so you can see that it filled in my my neurosis and my, what's it called? Tenet knowledge, which is tenacity. Okay. So when you depart, gain a survival token. You may spend that token at any time to gain 1, and then when you spend a survival, gain +1. And so it looks like I need to probably get to here to level that up. But let's come back to here. Okay. Survivors cannot help but ponder the nature of their existence. All survivors must ponder if they are eligible or become eligible during the development step of the settlement phase. This increases their philosophy rank by 1. Survivors can only advance 1 per lantern year. Okay, so we can see that this philosophy name is survivalism. Neurosis and tenet. The defining values of this philosophy, which is survivalism, live at all costs. Draw the tenet knowledge card and record its rules on the ARC survivor sheet, which we've done. And then add that tenet knowledge to the settlement's knowledge deck if it's not already there, and record it on the settlement record sheet. So we are going to grab the tenacity 1 knowledge card, and it's going to look like this. And you can see when you depart, you gain the survival token. You may spend it at any time to gain +1 survival, and then when you spend a token, you gain +1. And this goes into our knowledge. So because this person adopted survivalism as their philosophy, they gained tenacity as one of their tenet knowledge, and the tenet knowledge is the one inherently associated with the philosophy. You'll always have it. And so this goes into our philosophy deck for the rest of our survivors to potentially use. Okay? And this little guy here represents the survivor's worldview, represents the path the survivor's worldview follows. It shows Hunt XP milestones when the survivor must ponder, increasing their philosophy's rank. Okay, yeah, so we already marked these, so we know when they will level up. And then neurosis is the compulsive behavior of this philosophy. Record its rules on the ARC survivor record sheet. And so our neurosis is selfish, and we will probably learn more about that when we look at this. Okay. So selfish is when you encourage another survivor, roll a d10, and on a 6+, you in fact do not encourage. You keep your survival, and you cannot encourage again this round. And if it's possible for your survivor to use meat shield to avoid harm, they must use it. Okay, so we need to remember this. And honestly, this is one of the hardest parts, is that like there's no clean way to like remember that. Is essentially what the problem is. Okay. So that is that. We'll keep this out, maybe right there. And here is Lush. And it is rank 1. Okay. All right, now let's come back over here. Yep. Okay, so we adopted survivalism, opened the book, followed the directions, used the ARC survivor record sheet to record their hunt milestones, neurosis, tenacity, attendant knowledge. They cannot lose or exchange. And then after recording, shuffled tenacity into the knowledge deck. The nominated survivor reaches the first rank of survivalism. Turn to rank 1 and read it aloud. Resolve the rules. Okay, so we actually do come back over here and proceed to rank 1. And so this is survivalism rank 1. Only you. You are alone. All that matters is your survival. Adapt to survive. Gain +1 Lumi and roll 1d10. Okay, 1 Lumi. And we're going to roll a d10. A 1. You fixate on one lantern, flinging stones at it until you can knock it down. When the time comes, you will only get 1 shot. You must make it count. Gain the knowledge accuracy training. Boop. Lush, okay. And so this knowledge is one that we gained outside of our philosophy. So it's a tenant knowledge, or it's not a tenant knowledge. Tenacity is our tenant knowledge. So this is just a normal knowledge. But we have gained it, right? And so it goes not in our philosophy section, replacing tenacity, but in this section down here, where we can have 2 other knowledges, okay? So now we know that we have this, and whenever you successfully hit the monster, you gain 1, limit once per attack. So that's where we are with that. Okay, now there are a couple little kind of quibbly bits here that I want to address, and I think I've got them all ironed out and correct. Now, I don't think that Lush has to take this knowledge. If for whatever reason I either had 2 knowledges that I really liked and I didn't want this knowledge, I don't think I have to take it. So I'm pretty sure that's correct. You don't have to take it. But what does have to happen is that this knowledge must come in to this deck. We don't get there's no choice there. The settlement knowledge deck must take it because we have unlocked it. So we're going to take this. We've added it there, and we're going to slap it right there. And then I think we can even take this and put this here. Yep. And so now we have all of these recorded. So that's good. And there we have it. And that is that. Okay. Turn to rank 1. During future settlement phases, survivors who reach new Hunt XP milestones will adopt philosophies in advance, others during the development step. Okay. Fantastic. Cruising right along. There is a lot in this first kind of setup, but now we're going to move to our last story event, which is the Extinguished Guidepost. So we'll go to the contents and Extinguished Guidepost. Okay. There we go. Looks like something important is going on there. Man, I couldn't imagine, like, you see it in movies all the time. People like cut themselves like on their hand to like do like a blood pact or something. Like I feel like I would really struggle with that. I don't think I could do it. Okay, extinguished guidepost. Just outside the settlement, they gather to form a deadly pact. See, what's like? No, like I don't ever want to be involved in a pact like that. I think that's just that doesn't sound like for me. A death pact is formed. Even worse. They will return with a kill or not at all. Gain the death pact innovation and the outskirts settlement location. So let's get those two. Death pact innovation, and let's make sure we record it. Let's make sure we record it appropriately. There we go. And we'll add it over here. And it says when the survivors perish on the hunt or are defeated in the showdown, then we trigger the story event Logistics of Death. Okay. And then we can specially innovate Pictograph, which is actually pretty cool. Pretty cheap too. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. And what else do we get? We get Outskirts. Outskirts. Okay. And this is extinguished guidepost. When a survivor dies, their gear does not return to the settlement storage. Scout. You may nominate a survivor to be the scout and join the hunting survivors when they depart. The scout is equipped with the dreaded pack and must use the scout gear grid. Scout is still a survivor and gains the departing bonuses along with the hunting survivors. Only a scout can use gear with the scout keyword, and there's some gear here. And then the scout can gather a hollow stone, and then those hollow stones, along with some other resources, can be created to build some things like that. So it's a bit limited on how quickly you can get the scout geared and ready to go. So an ill-omened stench spreads throughout the settlement. Through the settlement, rather. Following the smell, the survivors reach an extinguished guidepost. The foul wind moans through its darkened lamp. Foul wind moans through its darkened lamp. That's an odd sentence to read. On the ground, the survivors find a waxy gray object. Its eye-watering smell prevents them from seeing it clearly. Gagging and weeping, they roll it in layers of cloth until the smell is merely repulsive. The survivors contrive a use for the dreaded pack. Nominate a survivor to accompany the hunting survivors. The dreaded burden is lifted onto their shoulders. They are the scout this lantern year. They feel a grim responsibility. Okay. So I think we need a new survivor. Let's call this Grimaldus, because they have a grim responsibility. Grimaldus. I don't know if I spelled that right, but okay. And so they gain the scout gear grid. The scouts must use it instead of the normal grid, and we're going to roll a d10. Let's go. A 9. That's pretty good. Okay. The scout feels a new resolve and stands proud. They are the first to take up this mantle for the settlement, and the scout gains +1 strength. Nice. Good job, Grimaldus. That is... I'm very happy for you. Nice. Excellent. Okay. All right. With that, I think that we've done everything that we're supposed to do. So I think the only thing left to do is all the normal stuff, right? Which is, oh, don't look at that. Don't look at that. Oh my gosh. I was trying to pick this up. You can't pick it up. You gotta, well, you can pick it up, but you gotta do it the hard way, I guess. I guess I'm gonna put this here. Grimaldus is gonna go here. Lush is gonna go here. This is getting scrapped. Goodbye. Let's take Lush, I suppose. You can come. Archive that. Okay. All right, groom the, okay, and so now I have 3 innovations. Or no, I have 3 endeavors rather. Excuse me. I have 3 endeavors because I had 3 returning survivors. So how am I going to spend these endeavors? Roll on a 1, suffer minus 1 luck, otherwise gain +1 Lumi. Okay. That requires ammonia. Alright, so I think I'm just going to build probably the Bonesmith. So I'll get rid of that and I'll build the Bonesmith. Yoink. Okay. And let's see. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Set that down. Scout board. Let's get the scout gear board because I will need that. Oh. Oh. Okay. I thought it was. Okay. Scout gear board. We'll need this. They have the dreaded pack, which is -2 movement. Okay. So that's that. Let's gain the, let's look at outskirts. Let's just grab the outskirts gear. Let's grab the Bonesmith gear. I suppose it's probably worth it to just assemble these other 2. I was kind of thinking maybe I would want to spend maybe 2 endeavors getting hollow stone so that I could potentially craft a stone cloak. The boots, the belly boots. I do have a perfect hide, but I don't have a vermin yet. Yeah, so basically, I know it doesn't like really kind of like, it doesn't really go over the rules for this, but they are like for the scout. But basically, they're another character that's going to come with us. All the rules are here. And you get all this stuff, and yeah, then it kind of goes, when you depart, one person wears the dreaded pack. They come out with you, and then they're kind of on the board. But normally, like you would hide them with the stone-faced cloak. But since we're not going to have the stone-faced cloak to begin, they just kind of are on the board, and you have to keep them alive. So there's at least a part of me that thinks I think I'm going to gather one hollow stone. Oh, hollow. Yeah, I can do it. I can spell. So I'm going to gather 1 hollow stone. And then I guess how much? So this is a bone. I don't really want to have to spend this stuff if I don't have to, but I think I'm going to. Yeah, because at the very least I need 2 weapons, because I threw 2 founding stones. So yeah, like at the very, very least, I guess I can actually, let me add all this stuff. We're gonna use the automation. even though I think people said it's a little wonky. But I feel like I had no issues with this automation. At least that was last time. Next page. And my resource storage is there, so this should write everything into my resource storage. And I think I'm almost good. I need to take and associate the crafting thing there. Oh, I didn't name my settlement. I didn't name my settlement. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I didn't name my settlement. What a fool. No, that's silly. That's really silly. Don't name it that. Oh man, I wasn't prepared for this. Ooh. Oh, I'm just paralyzed with indecision now. Yeah, not great. How about we just name it? No, that's silly. Okay. Oh, no. Alright, we're gonna look, it's not great, okay, but it's what I got. I'm completely intracted. I couldn't think of anything. We're gonna name it Tintagel. Which is the name of the castle where Arthur is conceived, actually. So that's really important. Good thing we have that. Okay, so now I think I can actually just I can come here, I can craft, and so frail. I think we need bone darts. Like one bone darts is always a good choice. So let's get a bone dart. I like bone darts. Let's do do we want to do we want to make a bone axe? I got a love juice. I could trigger intimacy, probably worth it. Oh, I need to trigger, actually before we do any of this, we should do our, yep, we need to do, it's on the previous page. We need to do the first time the death count is updated. So we have to do principle of death, which is actually over here. Principle death. There's just no way I'm gonna take cannibalize. I can't do it. I can't do it to myself. I'm sorry. We're gonna take graves. All right, graves. All new survivors gain +1 understanding. That's good. And we need to nominate somebody who's going to mourn the loss. They can gain luck, they can gain understanding. Let's do lush, I guess. Let's see what we get here. A 2. All departing survivors gain +1 survival and +1 understanding. Okay, so I need to remember that. Okay, +1 survival and +1 understanding. Okay. So that is that. We don't quite know who our departing survivors are going to be. Let's go to the next page. I don't know if I really am jazzed about Because, like, hide, stone, juice, broken. I mean, I guess I could use the flat vein, I guess. Use the flat vein and the groomed nails, make the axe. That seems reasonable. It could be bad, but I do need 2 weapons, so, you know, it's fine. Flat vein, groomed nails. Let's go. Thank you. That goes there. I do have 1 more blood pack. I don't have a perfect organ. I have a perfect hide, but I don't have the vermin for this. So I think I will make the skinnery as well. So let's grab the old skinnery. And we'll get rid of this last guy. We'll gain that there. And I do have, what, 2? Yeah, I have 1. And I'm not going to use my perfect hide, I don't think. Yeah, I have 1 hide. So, I mean, I guess I could spend it? Question mark. You know, I could spend 2 and get the rawhide vest and the rawhide headband. Oh, but that doesn't allow me to, yeah. I mean, it would allow me to use that, but it wouldn't get me the evasion, which is the main thing I would want. Maybe I'm not gonna build anything. Maybe I'll just sit on the resources. I have no innovations left. I think I'll build the bandages. Because I think that this guy bleeds a lot. So we'll take some band-aids. Okay. And we will mark that we have taken graves. And I guess I probably have, oh, I don't have to, but I think I'm probably incentivized to use my love juice. And I think I will. So let me go to contents. Intimacy. Alright, and I do need 2 survivors. So let's use survivor number 8 and survivor number 10, just in case they both die. Which they do. Okay. And I don't even give, yeah. Don't even give birth to anybody else. Okay, alright. Well, that's a tough break. We didn't want to see that, but that's why we did pick 2 non-named survivors. We foresaw the risk. We did the best we could. Okay. So that's gone. I do need to get rid of my love juice. And I think we're just about ready to go. And this is archived. So let's just take a second. Let's look at our tenacity, or our tenacities, our knowledges, see what we got going on. Okay, so what do you need to do? When you get targeted, you can spend 1 survival. And then I can click on this and just see it. And yeah, so that's never going to level up more. When you suffer brain trauma, you gain 1. Okay. When darkness. Subtract your torrent. Yeah, okay. when I suffer brain damage. And you're just when you hit, you gain something. And then when you depart, and then when you spend it. So I have to depart and spend it. Okay. It's just when you hit, right? Yeah. I mean, you know, I feel like that's reasonable. I can pass this over to here. You're going to get this. I think this is our scout. When I named the settlement, everybody gained 1. Is that right? I really feel like I went through everything exactly as I should have, and I didn't see the thing that said name my settlement. So if I missed it, let me know where I missed it. But I think I am going to... Well, Grimaldus would not have... I don't know when it... Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Well, it's not super duper important. But I do want to go to the death because I'm gaining +1 survival and +1 understanding. So basically, I think I'm going to say that everybody should be at 2 for my understanding departure bonus. And Zach, no matter when the window for naming the settlement was, Zach would have gained that 1, and then he gets his 1 additional departing. So, and then I need to mark understanding. Do that. Do this. Do this. Do this. All right. Now this is also going to trigger insight. So let's do that. Insight. It is the settlement phase. So the hunt, which once filled with you with inexorable dread, takes on a new dimension. Your expeditions outside the settlement inspire you, with curiosity and wonder. Gain the following ability and roll on the table. You are a tinker with +1 permanent strength. I love that for you. Is the section for Tinker gone? Well, that's just ridiculous. Okay. Now, I am quite certain that I'm also supposed to, first survivor to reach 3 understanding, triggers designs and dandelions. So we are into it again. So we're going to go to the contents. There's a lot. I think the first couple sessions are pretty heavy. Okay. That's you. That's what you look like with 3 understanding. This looks like a much more advanced settlement than my own. Okay. So this is another kind of one of the pillar things. We're assembling the seed pattern deck now. So examine your seed pattern collection, check each card's keywords, and keep all cards with keywords that appear in your campaign. Set aside any cards that do not appear in your campaign and shuffle the settlement seed pattern deck and place it into play. The survivor dreams of a dandelion blooming with a single gleaming eye at its center. The flower withers into a silvery tuft ball, its downy soft seeds tickling the survivor's brain. The survivor sneezes. I knocked something over. Sneezes, sending a vortex of floating seeds into the darkness over the settlement. The disturbance rouses the survivor, who follows the dizzying path of seeds along the ground. Atop a mound of stone faces, the survivor finds a single seedling. Pulling it, They are surprised at the strength of its resistance. With a howl of triumph, they rip the seedling out. The stone-faced ground crumbles away, revealing a shocking mass of roots growing around a filthy object. Gain the drafting table innovation. Okay. Okay. When a survivor first reaches 3 understanding, gain a seed pattern card. Yep. Okay. The survivor clears the vegetation and examines the scabrous surface with a bit of spare cloth. They meticulously clean the table. So let's meticulously clean the table. We got a 1. Your determined scouring produces metallic fumes. Panting with exertion, you inhale deeply. Your nostrils burn. Your mind reels with intrusive thoughts that form no coherent substance. Lose 1 courage and suffer the intracranial hemorrhage, severe head injury. I hate that for me. Gotta say, I hate that for me because you can't spend or gain survival. So that's a big not great. Okay, and now seed pattern deck. Now there are seed patterns here. Surely they will be here. Seed. Let's see, where is it? It's a little. Okay, all right. Stop. Okay. Those are all those things. Okay. Patterns. Okay, so here's this is my seed patterns. Wait, is it? Oh, let me look at this. Put that there. It says this is seed patterns. That's not seed patterns. Okay, hold on. Hold the phone. Wait just a tick. Okay. All right. Well, then I guess it's these ones. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there they are. Okay. Now, I am pretty sure that there are some in here that we can't use because we are not actually, right, they're not in our campaign. So what we have to do is we have to look at what we have. Although actually I think everything might be in the campaign because I think I reboxed everything that wasn't. So we should have Crimson Crocodile, Smog, Phoenix, the King, Butcher, Atlas, and the Hand. So if we look through this, King's. Okay, so we're gonna shift click all the ones out that we don't want. Seed. We don't have the White Lion, so get that out of here. We don't have that, so get it out of here. Scout, the Phoenix. Do we have the Phoenix? No, I don't think so. We have, okay, no Screaming Antelope. We don't have the White Lion, get that out of here. Do you have the Butcher? Do you have the Smog Singers? Do you have the King? Do you have the Crimson Croc? Do you have that? Yes, yes, yes. Don't have that. Seed, seed, seed. Okay. And, oh, we do have the Phoenix. Okay. That's fine. So Phoenix goes back in. Okay. Now, these can just go right there. This will shuffle. Now, okay, here's another thing actually, is you're supposed to draw this randomly, but I just want to check. It looks like all of these are actually tier 1. Okay, that's fine. Good. Sometimes if you have other ones, like it's kind of silly to draw one, but it's like tier 2 or tier 3, so like you're never going to be able to build it, so it just kind of sits there unusable for a while. That feels kind of bad to me, so I just say, yeah, don't do that. I have to remember to put that somewhere, and we are going to gain a seed pattern card, and so we gain the Masamune. Put it right here. It's going to take 4 hide and 4 iron and a perfect hide, and yeah. So if you're not familiar with these, there are a couple requirements, right? blue is like a requirement that's like actually a thing. Sometimes there are requirements that are kind of just like flavor, or like it's like, oh, you just do this or whatever. But in this case, we actually need we need the blacksmith. We need a survivor with +2 accuracy who inexplicably survived, sees life and death. Okay, so that you know those are conditions. And then we need a survivor with a dismembered arm. So those would be all of the requirements that we would need to make the Masamune. And then if we did that, right, it's right here. If we did it, then we would get the Masamune card, Seed Gear. Don't look at it. Oh, it flipped it around. So it'll be right there. Obviously, we can't interact with that right now, so that's not good. And then we need to throw our bandages somewhere. Yeah, right there seems good. And you're going, but you just have the pack, so you're slow. All right. Wow, that was a lot. That was a lot. But now the campaign is pretty much set up. We're in motion. We have done all of the initial kind of legwork. And so in the next episode, we will do our first hunt. So, whoa. Stop. It's kind of crazy. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. That was a lot, I know. But, these are... You kind of gotta go through it. It's setting up this campaign is kind of a beast, but it's really cool once you get it moving. There are some. I put some cards back here that I need back. Yep, these cards. They don't go there. So let's shuffle. Yeah, so in the next session, we'll do our hunt phase, and depending on how fast the hunt phases go, we may fuse them into the showdown phases. Sometimes they're quick, sometimes they're rather long, but just wanted to kind of, yeah. I'm glad that we kind of got through that. There was really a lot to do, but that was pretty good. All things considered, I think that we. Well, if we could have gotten the intimacy, that would have been really great, because that would have been another principle. And then there was a chance that we got twins. That would have been amazing, because then we could have gotten our society as well. So that one was quite unfortunate. This one quite unfortunate, but that's how it works. So we'll see how the showdown goes. And yeah. I think we're almost done. I did want to follow up. There was a bunch of people who commented in the last video, and thank you so much. I really appreciate it. There was a couple call outs on some things that I missed. Yes, initial waste damage should have been mitigated by the cloth. You're 100% correct. Yeah, I think I talk about the +1 insanity. It's in the magenta box that millennials just, I feel like we completely look over anything that looks like it could be conflated as an ad. And yeah, juggling 4 characters. It's going to be a lot. I'm going to miss a lot, but it is what it is. And there was a number of people who very kindly pointed out or helped me learn what this was right here. So there were 2 top answers, right? It was kind of 50-50, really. Some people were saying that this was the kidneys, and some people were saying that it was actually the adrenal gland. And so I am happy to report that in this particular circumstance in the world, I think it was both, right? I think I did a poor job expressing what I was asking. So this is a picture I found on the internet, And these are clearly the body here is clearly the kidney, and then I guess the adrenal glands would technically rest here on top, which I think is kind of being emulated by these guys. So if you said adrenal glands, I think you're correct, and if you said kidneys, I think you're also correct. So I think in this case, everybody can be happy, except for Dungeon Guru, who had no clue what either one was. So just wanted to cycle back on that. I thought that was kind of fun. So thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that you enjoyed this. I know that this first session is kind of a beast. It's a lot to set up. The Gambush test has a lot of moving parts. I tried to do my best to go slowly through it all. So if you were unfamiliar with the systems, how you would interact with them. And I hope you enjoyed it. So, as always, I am the Dungeon Guru, and you should stay safe down there. Thank you.